Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand what is this one unifying factor that actually is common between all the toppers who qualify UPSC exam. Now, many toppers with whom we have interacted with whom you have interacted over the medium of internet, you must have realized that all of these people have different strategies. Some of them who are working have to follow a one strategy, but some other person who is preparing for this UPSC exam in their 24 hours, or that is for full time, they have some different strategy. But each and every of these successful candidates have something in common which the other people who unfortunately were not so successful did not or were not able to do. So what are those qualities that all successful people have in common? Let us discuss that. First trait or the first characteristic that all the successful people follow is that they've developed a very strong fundamental when it comes to UPSC preparation. Now you need to understand the common conceptual or the common understanding about UPSC among people is that the syllabus is very vast, and this is absolutely 100% true. But to cover a vast syllabus, you need very strong foundation. You need to cover your fundamentals quite strongly. Let me give you an example. Suppose if you have to construct a 50-floor high building, can you make that building without a strong foundation? Obviously not. And similarly, to be very successful in UPSC, you have to be very strong when it comes to your foundational learning. And this is what we have seen is common between all the successful candidates. Similarly, just the strong fundamentals isn't enough for you to clear the exam. You need to follow other things also quite diligently. And the second trait which we have found in common in all the successful candidates is their discipline and consistency. Now you need to understand UPSC as an exam, as an institution, does not reward those people who are the most brilliant people. Yes, the people who have been qualified in this exam are all brilliant people. But is this their brilliance that has been rewarded by UPSC? No. It was only those people who are smart enough, who are brilliant enough, but at the same time they are very disciplined and consistent in their preparation, are the ones who have qualified this exam. And I have known many smart people who did not have the necessary discipline, who were not as consistent as they were required to be, and therefore they are not in the services. Now, to be disciplined and consistent, you need to have some kind of an quality which you have to apply over consistently in a matter of discipline. This is effectively revising. Now, once you have developed a strong foundation, it is not enough for you to clear this exam. You need to revise that particular topic again and again. You must have realized when you have to cover a vast syllabus, it is quite natural for you to forget facts. You have to forget many things. But once you revise them multiple times, any kind of an idea, any kind of a fact, it takes home in your mind. Let me give you an example. Suppose if I ask you a question, what is 5 into 4? Without thinking, you will answer that the answer is 20. Are you doing the maths in your brain? No. You have heard this so many times in your life that without even thinking, when I ask you what is 5 multiplied by 4, you will always come up with the answer of 20. It is because you have gone through that fact multiple times over a span of your life. And this is what we want to do. For UPSC exam, as you are required to cover a vast syllabus, you can only remember it once you have revised it n number of times. Now, just the revision is not enough. You also have to gauge, is this level of revision which you have undertaken up till now enough for you or not? To understand that, you have to subscribe to regular testing. And this testing might come in different forms. You can solve MCQs or you can write mains answers also. So, regular testing is one way where you revise and test, and this iteration you have to do multiple times in order to be successful in UPSC. Similarly, when you give a test, it is only natural that initially you will not score very well. But the purpose of that test initially is not to get good scores. The purpose of that test initially is to get the feedback, is to gauge your level of preparation. So this regular testing also gives you a continuous feedback on which areas are strong, which areas need more work to be done upon. Right? And what many students do initially, that they think that since UPSC has 3 different levels, prelims, mains, as well as interview, so they need to prepare it separately. Now the answer is no. You have to prepare all of these three different pillars of UPSC in an integrated manner. So any preparation which helps you develop a strong fundamental, which allows you to be disciplined and consistent through revision and regular testing, which gives you a continuous feedback and which lets you prepare for the UPSC in an integrated manner is an ideal way to prepare for UPSC. Now you must be thinking how you can do such kind of a preparation. The answer is simple. With StudyIQ, we have introduced what is called as a SMART model of learning to qualify UPSC exam. What is this SMART model of learning? This word SMART is basically an abbreviation. It stands for structured classes, it stands for mentorship, it stands for assessment, it stands for revision, and it stands for test practice. Once you combine all of these words, you will get what is called as a SMART model of StudyIQ. Now, what is this SMART model? Let me elaborate it for you. Now, first of all, or first cog in this wheel is called as structured classes. To be able to get your learning in a structured manner, there is a particular sequence that you need to follow. So once you take admission to StudyIQ, we ensure that you follow a particular sequence of learning. First, you are gone through, or you will be required to go through NCERT level of information. Once you consolidate upon NCERT level of information, then we will develop your strong foundation. This strong foundation you will only get when you attend the classes on a regular basis. In classes, teacher go through all the standard textbooks, they simplify it, they tell you that, and they give you a consolidated notes. This strong foundation will let you prepare for prelims, mains, and interview in an integrated manner. And this learning, which is not just provided for GS, but it is also providing you daily current affairs classes, CSAT, and theme-based learning, which you will be able to apply in your mains answer writing. So this was the first component called as structured classes. So as soon as you take admissions, you will be beginning your classes for different subjects, and in every subject we will follow this same pattern. Initially you will be going through NCERT level information, then slowly by slowly the level would go up in order to ensure that your preparation is completed in an integrated manner. Second cog in this wheel is mentorship. Now what's the point of mentorship, you must be wondering it, right? Now mentorship helps you gauge your level of preparation, and more importantly, it gives you a continuous feedback on what you need to do. Now, as soon as you take admissions to StudyIQ, on that very day itself, you will be dedicated a mentor. You will be allocated a personalized mentor. The job of that mentor would be to guide you throughout your journey in StudyIQ. Now, suppose you are reading something and you naturally have a doubt. One way to solve that doubt is to contact the faculties in the class. What if you're reading something, the classes for which have happened few months back? Then you can call your dedicated mentor during office hours every day, and they will help you solve your doubts. Not just that, they will gauge your level of preparation, they will make your daily task planning, and they will also monitor whether you're following that plan or not. Similarly, in addition to academic guidance, they will also ensure that your mental health stays consistent. You are not feeling the brunt of this UPSC preparation, which is very natural in the course of few months and years that you're required to prepare for UPSC. So mentorship is your answer to doubt solving, is your answer to follow a structured timetable, and it is also your answer to keep your motivation levels at a higher levels, right? Now the third cog in this wheel becomes assessment. Now you need to understand your preparation does not, or you're not required to give the test only on the day of examination. Once you're done with the classes, once you're covering the classes, you are required to appear for test on a daily basis. And this test helps you in assessment. What we have done here, we have created a smart dashboard. This smart dashboard, which you can access, which we can access for you, it tracks your performance with a data-driven analysis. This smart dashboard inculcates overall performance analysis. It identifies which subject are your strengths and which subject is your weakness. It also ranks you with respect to other candidates on how well you have completed the syllabus. Once you're giving the test, your marks will be fed into that dashboard and it will provide you a detailed test analysis on what kind of questions you have marked the answers correctly, on what kind of questions you have marked the answers incorrectly. This also helps you evaluate how well or how unwell you're performing with respect to your other peers in the batches. And this progress report, believe me, it is very essential for your continuous improvement, because when you start for UPSC preparation, you're at this level. Gradually you are required to achieve this level, which is the threshold for clearing the UPSC exam. And we all know, to reach this threshold, you have to go through multiple stages of continuous improvement. And how will you track this improvement? Through our smart dashboard. Now, one way of assessing your levels of preparation is through giving multiple iterations of test, that is through multiple iterations of revision. Once you study a topic, it is all but natural that you will forget most about it. To retain as much as information possible, you have to go through multiple iterations of revision, and 3 levels of revision we have created, which is resulting into best retention among the students. First, there will be 15 minutes revision that you're required to do before every class. For that, we'll be providing you 1-page revision notes, and the mentor will lead your revision post after every subject completion. So once you're done with the subject, we will ensure that before moving to another subject, you have revised that previous subjects thoroughly. And this ensures that you are revising multiple times. And when you go to the exam, you will be able to retain maximum information that you have read through your class notes, that you have covered through your class lectures. Similarly, last but not the least, for continuous improvement, test practice is very necessary, and we have designed multiple level of tests to help you revise all of those things. This can be in form of daily, weekly, monthly test. In addition to all of these tests, you also get access to 75 plus prelims test and 30 mains tests, which will be evaluated by dedicated evaluators. Out of these 10 tests, first you'll be required to go through 20 sectional tests, and once you're done with the 20 sectional tests, then you're required to attempt 10 full length tests. For all of these tests, your copies will be evaluated, the feedback and the model answers will be shared with you, and the mentors will take pains to go through your answers and advise you on how to write better answers. So this method of revision, this method that you're required to revise through testing, is designed to provide you continuous feedback, and this continuous feedback is very necessary if you have to improve your level of understanding, if you have to be successful in the UPSC exam. So this basically is the sum total of smart revision. Now, how to take admissions into smart batches of UPSC? Just go through our website. Right now, we are taking admissions for students who are looking to appear for 2027 or 2028 exam. All of these batches are based on smart model. We are offering batches for English language. Suppose if you're from Northeast India, if you're from Eastern states or Southern states in India, I can understand you won't be able to take classes in Hindi or in bilingual format. So for you especially, we have come with dedicated English batches. To take admissions to these dedicated English batches, just go to our website. Before making this payment, if you apply this code ATS Live, you're going to get maximum discounts. One of the batches, that is an evening batch, this batch would be starting with few orientation classes, and after that I will begin the economy lectures for you guys. Okay, so this is what is smart model. I hope you have understood smart model. To get any help, just call the number 7640003000. This is a number that will help you give counseling. You can get counseling free of cost, and if need be, you can also take admissions. Do not forget to apply this code, because this code helps you get maximum discounts on all the courses, be it for 2027 or 2028 resolution batches. So this is all from my side for today. I hope you have a very good weekend. See you all very soon in these foundation classes, and I hope all the best for your UPSC preparation.